AITAH for not wanting a relationship with my brother after I got locked out of his apartment in a foreign country at night. Throwaway for obvious reasons. When my brother was 18 he met his now wife. Growing up, we had a tumultuous childhood and were very close. As soon as he met his wife, he started to ditch me regularly when I would visit him. I don't have the character space to get into all of it, but most of the previous times happened in America at least, so I could speak the language and had the resources to mostly keep myself safe. But the final time this happened, the stakes were much higher. We were older, we had graduated college and he was living in Poland. His wife was working and he was a house husband without a work visa. He let me know they were planning a trip to Paris and asked if I wanted to come. I hadn't seen him in over a year and I truly thought that being married and an adult, things would be different. They were not. Before I even left, but after I bought plane tickets, he told me his wife now had a work conference, so he would be leaving me alone in Paris after only 4 days of the 8-day trip. When I asked why he couldn't just stay and hang with me in Paris, he said it would be weird to be in Paris with his sister. Okay, bro. The compromise is that all three of us would go back to Poland for her work conference. After I almost backed out and after our parents intervened with him. As soon as I get to Paris, it's clear that this is the same old routine. The first day, we hang together mostly. The second day we go to the Louvre. They ditched me to wander off on their own for most of the day, even leaving the Louvre without telling me until after the fact. On the way back to the Airbnb I got very lost. Luckily, a hotel manager eventually helped me with a hand-drawn map. That night, we go out together. Afterwards, his wife wants to dance. It's 10 p.m., and we have a 7 a.m. flight back to Poland. I tell my brother I'm tired and I think it's a better idea for us to head back and pack. He agrees, but now he has a very pouty wife. Her attitude persists the entire time we're in Poland, becoming progressively worse. There are more instances of rudeness and them going off together, but I don't have the character space. The last night I'm with them in Poland happens to be Valentine's Day. The entire day she's moody and sour while we're on a train ride from one city back to where their apartment is. Several times my bro leaves me alone in the compartment to have discussions with her. These seem very serious to me. I wonder if she's pregnant or something. When we get back to his city, he asks me to leave the apartment so he can talk with her. He hands me his phone and the code to the apartment and says he'll call when I can come back. 6 hours later, it's nighttime in Poland in February. It's freezing and most everything is starting to close. I still have not heard from my brother. I try to call him several times, no answer. The phone he gave me is dying. I show up to his apartment and the code doesn't work. It's 7 p.m. I try calling, nothing. I'm starting to get hungry, but I'm not sure where to go or what's open or when if I'll be able to reach him. I wait outside in the freezing cold for about an hour before someone leaves the building and I'm able to sneak in. When my brother and his wife appear around 9 p.m., she's purring. The bad mood seems to have vanished. The entire fight was because I was there on Valentine's Day, a time they asked me to be there on, and a holiday they don't celebrate in Poland really. I was leaving the next morning. When I confronted my brother about his treatment of me, the childishness of his wife's behavior and little temper tantrums, he stopped speaking to me. He continued to assert that he has a right to celebrate Valentine's Day with his wife, completely refusing to take responsibility for asking me to be there or the unsafe situation I wound up in due to his lack of communication or ability to remember the code to where he had been living for a year. I had a rough childhood, but my brother and I were always there for each other. His abandonment threw me into a deep depression, like uncontrollable crying. I had tried to get into therapy, but I had very bad insurance. It all came to a head after I still hadn't heard from him. By my birthday we always celebrate together. He still wouldn't talk to me. I sent him an email saying I don't know what I did to you to deserve this. I don't see a point in being alive if the people I care about are going to treat me this way. Truthfully, I was not suicidal. Really just in a dark, sad place where I didn't understand why he thought I deserved this. His wife called the cops on me. Neither of them responded to me directly and they took me out of work in a squad car and I was 5150, a 72-hour involuntary hold. I know it was his wife because the cop told me my sister had called. I don't have a sister. It was incredibly traumatic for me. It took me a long time to trust mental health professionals after this. My dad paid the $750 bill by selling his motorcycle. Since that time, my brother has reached out, attempting a relationship. He wants this to all be water under the bridge but refuses to apologize or acknowledge that the way he treated me was not okay. For me, it's not even a single incident but a pattern of behavior that started off rude and wound up putting me in an unsafe situation. For my own safety, I don't feel comfortable just letting this go without a real apology. My dad really wants us to get along, so we're not fighting at his funeral, but it's been 6 years and I truly don't even know how to have a relationship with this person after he has broken my trust in so many ways. So, AITAH for not wanting a relationship with someone who will not apologize for their behavior and has treated me poorly in the past?